Hey there, fellow tech enthusiasts! Ready for a digital roller coaster? Strap in, because we're diving headfirst into the zany world of gadgets and gizmos, where the only constant is change and the currency is innovation. Plus, I promise to wrap this up before your phone even thinks about hitting 1% battery life. Let's go! First up, Samsung's been sprinkling some futuristic fairy dust all over the Galaxy line with the S25, S25 Plus, and the brawny S25 Ultra. And for those who relish a diet phone, they've teased us with the wafer-thin Galaxy S25 Edge. Meanwhile, Toby Fox, the musical maestro behind Undertale, is tuning up for an RPG resurrection of Off. Creators, crank up those speakers for a sneak peek at his latest tracks and take a nostalgic trip on Undertale's influence highway. Pivoting to a modder who's giving all of us retro techie feels, Hiro Sato has crammed a Nintendo DS into an original Game Boy body. This Franken console can play DS games with an extra cartridge slot and a stealthy pop-up second screen. It's like seeing your grandpa do parkour improbable but oh so impressive. Here's a bit of fun trivia. 76% of iPhones from the past 4 years have joined the iOS party train, according to Apple's iOS adoption stats. Most iPhone users are clearly more up-to-date with their software than I am with my laundry. Let's shimmy over to the online bazaar of e-commerce. It's a jungle out there, folks. Used phones with TikTok glued on are going for a song. Be warned, though, your privacy is more valuable than your dopamine-deprived scrolling needs. Changing gears, let's talk about fashion, textile. Manchester City's AI-powered Future Kits contest is making waves, though my genius design is suspiciously absent from the finalists. A travesty, I'm sure. Speaking of contests, the Retro Collective's homage to the Atari Space Race is an ode to the arcade-aged aesthetes. They've resurrected the fiberglass cabinet design from a mere 3D scan to a playable retro relic. Talk about a historical reboot. Trump has been teasing a diverse range of promises, from saving TikTok to dabbling with electric vehicle policies. While he's busy with his endeavors, we're getting epic games going live, post-bug busting. Now let's get practical with Wi-Fi routers. The Wi-Fi Alliance, Thread Group, and CSA are teaming up to ensure that your smart home devices play nicely with your routers. IPv6, Multicast Discovery. It's the tech world's way of holding hands and singing Kumbaya. Security buffs, check this out. Subaru's Starlink had a vulnerability letting hackers take the wheel remotely. Quite literally, folks, they patched it up, but if your car could text you, it'd say, BRB, getting smarter and safer. And for those of you who leave your Mac Mini lying around, Kensington's got your back with a secure steel cage. Trust me, no one's going to steal your Mac Mini when it's wearing iron trousers. In the wild west of social media, TikTok came back from a digital hiatus, not yet gracing the app stores, but turning the tide on temporary user tremors. On the topic of longevity and legacy, Leica's celebrating the centennial of its mass-produced Leica 1 camera with some spendy stationery, because nothing spells retro luxe like a $500 set of pencils. And remember, folks, just when you thought PIR sensors were the bee's knees, M-Wave Tech swoops in to ensure your lights don't ghost you, just because you're a still life enthusiast on the couch. Health tech is getting hyped up with Samsung possibly bringing non-invasive blood glucose monitoring to your wrist gadgetry. However, as your resident reality checker, it's wise to remember that some tech takes its sweet time to perfect. And let's not forget AI's grand wizardry in fashion and food, folks. It's styling our wardrobes and watching our waistlines, seemingly more attentive to our well-being than our gym buddies. Rounding up the slew of updates, LG's gone full RoboCop by scooping up Bear Robotics for a robotic rendezvous. The future's looking automated, and hopefully, it doesn't demand we say please and thank you to our robo vacuum cleaners. And lastly, Siri might be the tech world's punchline yet again, missing the mark despite Apple's AI acrobatics and ChatGPT integrations. Somewhere out there, a magic 8-ball is smugly saying, I told you so. Phew! And that's a wrap on today's tech extravaganza. If this digital fast food for thought had you salivating for more, smash that like button, subscribe faster than a Tesla on ludicrous mode, and ding that bell icon so you never miss out on our bite-sized banter. Until next time, keep those circuits sizzling and your charge levels high. Speaking of things that make you go, a startup next to an Icelandic geothermal plant is growing microalgae for food. So, brace for the potential future where your sushi comes with a side of sustainable algae. Aqua farming meets tech in the greenest of mashups. Ever watch sad videos online and wonder why you can't stop? Turns out the internet's addicted to sorrow. with content creators milking melancholy for views. It's like we're wired for a good wheat fest. Next up, a tearjerker about a cat contemplating the meaning of its 9 lives. And in the realm of apps we can't live without, TikTok might face the American chopping block. Users and creators alike reflect on its impact on internet culture and wonder what virtual life would be like without that viral vortex. It's like imagining a party without music and nobody's excited to RSVP to that. Fancy a stab at immortality? Tomorrow.bio, cryonic startup offers you a chance at resurrection for the modest price of a fancy sports car. The verdict is still out on whether this is the next big thing or just a chilly pipe dream. Shifting gears, researchers have possibly uncovered a new Homo species that made Asia its home around 300,000 years ago. Guys, our family tree might have more branches than previously thought. Darwin would be stoked. Now, let's sail into the night sky with the stargazing event of the decade. This February, a rare 7-planet alignment will dazzle scientists and backyard astronomers alike. It's like the solar system is throwing a party, and you're all invited. All right, let's wrap up with a gentle ride in a robotaxi. San Francisco saw these driverless wonders parked in a lot when a crash prevention feature triggered what I'm dubbing the robo-ruckus. Imagine your car honking on its own like it's possessed by the ghost of road rage past. Before we power down, let's not forget about Samsung's vision of the S25 series, a smartphone intended to redefine the term innovation. With AI baked into its DNA, this device might as well make you coffee while curating your photos. And speaking of Samsung, save the date for their Unpacked event. Just don't expect Bixby to read you bedtime stories yet. Technology is soaring faster than a caffeine-fueled coder on a deadline. Between novel cancer treatments, the future of TikTok, cryogenics, and our ever-evolving digital landscape, there's enough to keep our brains buzzing faster than the latest processor. So if you enjoyed this whirlwind tech roundup, don't forget to hit like, smash that subscribe button, and ding that bell icon to ensure you stay plugged into the electrifying world of tech news with us. This is your digital scribe signing off. Remember to keep your algorithms friendly and your gadgets charged. Until next time, stay connected.